calendar here. So today we had a ton of Eurozone data that came out. All the numbers here are positive, and we have seen Euro go up against the US dollar. So positive data here for Euro. So coming up on Tuesday here, we have some important numbers coming out. So first of all, we do have the CPI numbers here from the Eurozone here. And if this numbers, if the number that comes is higher than what we are expecting, that will be positive for the Euro. And CPI is one of the numbers that the banks, the central banks, keep track of. So this is an important number to watch. We also have trade balance numbers here for Canada as well as the US here. So if the trade balance numbers are below expectations here, again, it will be negative for these currencies. So trade balance numbers, or trade in general, has become more important, especially since the last couple of years, where we have seen more of more with the trade wars and everything else going on. So the trade balance numbers are more important here. Okay, so important number here coming up, which will make a big difference here for the US dollar if it doesn't come as expected, is the ISM non-manufacturing PMI numbers. So PMI numbers are leading indicators to retail sales GDP, and as a result of that, this is a very important number that everybody watches. So the previous numbers, the PMI numbers for the US, have been coming in below expectations. So if we see this ISM non-manufacturing PMI number come in below the expected number here, then that would be negative for the US dollar, and we are likely to see the US dollar drop as a result of that. And then we also have average cash earnings number here for for Japan here, which will have an impact on Japanese yen. So if it's not in line with expectations, then if it's below that, then we are going to see a drop in yen. So yen has been quite volatile here, going back and forth over the last couple of days because of the geopolitical situation. And then, of course, the data that comes out will also have an impact on the yen crosses. All right, so we have building approval numbers here for Australia. We saw Australian dollar hasn't done too well today. And if these building numbers are, again, below expectations, then that will be negative for Australian dollar. So we need to keep an eye on that. So not too heavy in terms of our data that's coming out tomorrow. Another thing that we have seen is in terms of the market, we saw reversal of those moves from Friday, and there have been more escalations and more back and forth in regards to US and Iran. However, we haven't really actually seen too many further escalations beyond what we had discussed. So as things stand right now, Iran has basically said that they're going to retaliate. They're pulling out of the nuclear accord that was signed in 2015, I want to say. And overall, though, that's pretty much extent of developments that we have seen on that front. But do keep an eye on the US and Iran tensions. If we see that there is more of an escalation there, then we could see yen crosses basically get impacted. And also with the increasing tensions here, the market is now expecting the Fed to do additional rate cuts and do monetary policy adjustments. And as a result of that, we have seen the equity markets go up. So we'll take a look at that in just a little while here. So let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar here. With euro dollar, we saw that euro has gone up. Now, price is into resistance, so do keep that in mind. It's into the 1.1200 number. So today's candle close is bullish, but just keep in mind we are into resistance. So bias here is bullish. However, the big thing to keep in mind here would be the 1200 number. So if price stays below 1.1200, chances are it will drop. However, if it does go through, then we're looking for price to go and test the high essentially. So right now, a bias is bullish, but with caution, because if it doesn't break through the 1200 number, then I will look for price to go down. So right now it's at an important level, so we just need to keep an eye on that. But the bias based on the daily move here is bullish. Next target is 1.1240. And then if it goes beyond that, we're looking at 1.1280. So for now, bullish bias here for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one went up as well. We saw that price came into the support and basically just turned around from there. So bias here is bullish for the day. We have seen a big move to the upside. So it is into resistance here as well, but bias again is bullish. Target is 1.3285 here. So bullish bias for pound dollar as well. Aussie dollar here, this one, the daily candle close here is neutral. We had talked about this. We are into support here. So for price to continue lower, we do need to see a close below 0.6930 here. So for now, neutral bias for Aussie dollar. Now, should we see that price holds below this level here, 1.6930, then we can see a move to the downside. For now, though, if it does not hold below where it is currently, it's testing the support, but let's say it bounces up, then I will look for this move to the upside. Now, if it sustains this break to the downside, then I would look for a pullback and a drop. So for now, bias is neutral for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar here, this one, we do have a bullish candle close here, so we could see price go up higher. Target here is 0.6700, so bias is bullish for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, we have a bearish candle close here. Price pulled back into or close to the support resistance level here. It's held below, so looking for price to drop further. Bearish bias here, target is 1.2880. So dollar CAD is bearish. Euro pound here, this one's just been trading sideways here. Today's candle close is bearish. So looking for price to drop back towards the bottom of this little range that it's been trading in. So bearish bias here, 0.8450 is the target. So bias is bearish. Euro Swiss franc here, this one has just, this one's a holding or sitting at support right now. So overall bias here is to the downside, but like I said, price is into support. So for it to continue lower, we need to see a break. As well, we are also into some important support here that we haven't seen price break for such a long period of time. So this is an important support resistance level. Price tried to break through here, but it's just been stuck here for a long time. And now we see that price is trying to test this area once again. So in this case, bias is to the downside, but I would say with extreme caution, because if it doesn't break through the support, this one could still bounce back up and go towards the high of these candles here at 1.0850. So for now though, bearish bias, first target is 1.0808 level and then 1.0780. So bearish bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc here, this one we see that price has been struggling with the support level for quite some time. We see a bounce off of this support level currently here today as well. We do have a bullish candle close, so I will look for price to go higher. The first target here would be 1.2800 and then 1.2855. So bias here is bullish for pound Swiss franc. So basically looking for price to go towards the top of the range there. Dollar Swiss franc here, we do have a bearish candle close here. So looking for a further move to the downside. We see that price was into support resistance we had a spinning top, which is our neutral candle here, and then we have seen a change in direction here. US dollar took a hit, especially with the market expecting Fed to take further monetary policy action. So as a result of that, the equity markets did well, but US dollar did not do so well. So overall, with this one here, bias is to the downside. And first target here would be 0.9650. That's the first target. And should price continue below that, we're looking at 0.9600. So that will be the second target here. Overall, bias is bearish for dollar Swiss franc. Pound yen here, this one is looking bullish as well. We saw that price went into this support level here, and then it bounced off of that. It wasn't able to hold below. It did try to get below that, but then it turned around. So we have a bullish candle close. Now do keep in mind, price is into support resistance level, even though this one here is a stronger one. So at this point, bias is bullish. Next target is 144, and then 144.40. So bullish bias for pound yen. Now, one thing to keep in mind though is if it doesn't break through 142.80, then this one can come back towards the bottom of this candle here into 141. So for now, though, bias is bullish for pound yen. And then euro yen here, we saw with most of the yen crosses here, we have seen reversals here from Friday. So Friday, when we saw that news of, or when everybody got, the markets got the news of the attack, the missile attack by the US, that actually created or led the market to drop. And we had price drops here as a result of that. However, those moves are now starting to basically go back up. It's retracing, and at this point we do have a bullish candle close. So that's across the board for the yen crosses. Now what we need to keep in mind here would be our US and Iran geopolitical situation. If tensions get worse, or if there's escalation, that could cause the yen crosses to reverse directions as well. But right now though, market it doesn't seem to be too concerned about it, and we are seeing that actually there is positive sentiment that Fed is likely to pump more money into the economy, and that's pushing everything up. So right now, bias is bullish, and once we see price get to the other side here, 121.40, this one could go further. Next target is 122, and then if it continues higher, 122.50. So bullish bias here for euro yen. Dollar yen here, this one's looking bullish as well. It is into important support resistance level, though this is where price got stuck on the other side here. Now we are testing that same level from the opposite direction. So I would say the bias is bullish, but I would be cautious here. If it doesn't go through 108.50, I will look for this one to drop. So this one could actually turn around right there because of this important support resistance level. So keep an eye on a 108 level here. So if it stays below 108.50, looking for it to come back down towards a 107.80. If it goes through though, this one could continue higher. In that case, the first target would be 108.90, and then we've got 109.50. So for now, bullish bias, but with caution. Aussie yen here, this one, same thing. Price was into support. It tried to break through, but then reverse directions, and we have seen price go up as a result. So right now, it is into support resistance level here. However, because our bias is to the downside, to the upside, sorry, so bullish bias here, if it goes through the high of today, then I'm looking for price to continue higher. And the target here, the first target is 75.70. And if it goes through that, we're looking at almost 76.00. So bullish bias here for Aussie yen as well. New Zealand yen, same thing, price came into support and then bounced off of that. Pretty much everything that was the moves that got created as a result of the war or concerns in regards to the war, all those moves basically unfolded today and then they turned around. So market is still volatile, so just keep an eye on those things. But for now, this one has also reversed directions. Now it's bullish, looking for price to move back towards 72.70. So bias is bullish for New Zealand yen as well. So looking for price to basically move up here. So that's what we're looking for. So bullish bias here for New Zealand yen. CAD yen here, same thing. We have seen a reversal of that move to the downside. Now price is pushing higher. We do have a bullish candle close here. So looking for price to go higher. 83.85 is the first target. And should it get through, we could see price go even higher. And we are looking at 84.35. So bullish bias here for CAD yen as well. All right, so moving on to pound New Zealand here, we do have a bullish candle close here, but as we can see, price is into resistance. So if it doesn't get through 1.9770, we could see price come back down. So it is bullish, but just be cautious because price is into resistance. However, once price gets to the other side here, next target is 1.9840. And then if it continues on, we could see it go all the way into 1.9950. So bias is bullish for pound New Zealand. Euro New Zealand here, this one is into resistance at the moment. We do have a neutral candle close. The pin on the candle here is pretty much the same size as the candle body itself. So bias is neutral here. We see that price is into support resistance level here. So if it does not go through the resistance, we could see price come back down and move lower towards 1.6700. So bias here is neutral. Important level to pay attention to would be 1.6120. 1.6820. If it stays below 1.6820, I will look for price to drop further here. The first target would be 1.6700. And then second target is 1.6620. EURCHF here, this one is this one's not really been doing a whole lot. We can see price has been stuck in this major range here for quite some time. Hasn't really gone anywhere. So at this point, I would say if we see price hold below today's high at 1.4530, it could turn back down. However, because price is into support here, this one could just continue on further and we could see price move up higher towards 1.4530, then 1.4620. So for now though, bias is bullish. Just be cautious because it is into resistance at the moment. Pound CAD here, this one is looking bullish. We did see a bounce here. So we have a reversal candle here. So bullish bias here, next target is 1.7150. And then above that, we're looking at 1.7220. So basically, this is also trading in a range. Price is bouncing off of the bottom of this range. So looking for it to go higher. First target 1.7150, then 1.7220, so bullish bias for pound CAD. Euro Aussie here, this one is looking bullish here. We have last 2 days of bullish candle move. Now this is into resistance here as well, so just be cautious with that. But bullish bias here, next target is 1.6230. So Euro Aussie is bullish. Pound Aussie, this is looking bullish as well. Price has broken through this resistance level, so looking for it to go higher here. First target is 1.9100 here, so bullish bias for pound Aussie. All right, so let's take a look at the commodities here, starting with silver. So we did see a big move to the upside for silver, but that has turned around now, just like all the other safe haven assets that we have seen, like Japanese yen. So here we do have a pin bar, so this is looking bearish. Now we could get a pullback towards 18.25 level here. And if it stays below that, I would look for a drop towards 17.77. So bias here is bearish. Actually, I would say 17.75. So bias here is bearish for silver. Gold here, same thing. We do see a big move to the upside, but there's a large pin on the top here as well, which means that we could get a drop. So at this point, bias here is neutral for gold because we do have a nice bullish candle close, but then we have a large pin on top as well, which makes this neutral because this would mean bearish, whereas the candle body shows a positive momentum. Overall, though, this is overall move has been bullish. So what I would look for here would be a pullback towards 1552 level, and if it holds above, then looking for that continuation to the upside. However, another thing that could happen is price goes up, and then this one could pull back from there. So at this point, neutral bias here for gold. First target 1580 and then 1587. The bias is neutral. Oil here, oil just like everything else, basically gave back all the profits from the other day. So here we have a large pin to the downside. So this shows a rejection. So bias is to the downside here. Now looking at this chart here, we could see a pullback and then a drop here. So keep that in mind. Bias is bearish. The first target here would be 62.20, and then if we see price drop below that, we're looking at 61. So bias is bearish for oil. Copper here, copper on the other hand has gone up. So we saw price come into the support and then it bounced from there. So bias is bullish here. And the first target here is 2.76. And then we are looking at 2.78. So bullish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin has done well. We have a bullish candle close and price has moved since then. So bias is bullish and we are into the first target here. We have important support resistance where price is currently at 78.65. Now, should it go through, I'm looking for 8,200. So bullish bias for Bitcoin. S&P 500 here, we did see a reversal in S&P 500 as well. Like I said, the focus has shifted more towards market expecting the Fed to provide more liquidity in the market and basically stay with the monetary policy adjustment. So more rate cuts and basically providing more liquidity into the market. As a result of that, this is good for the equity markets, and we have seen S&P 500 go up today. So now looking for a further move higher, looking for a continuation of this one here. So next target here is 3260, which is the top here. And then above that, we are looking at 3280. So 3280 and 3300 will be the two levels I will keep an eye on. So bullish bias here for S&P 500. NASDAQ here also looking bullish. It has been trading in a bit of a range here for a few days here, but today's candle close is definitely looking bullish here. And at this point, I would look for 88.80 level. If it holds below that level, I would look for price to drop. However, should it go through, the next target here is 9,020, so 9020. Bias is bullish here for NASDAQ as well. So like I said before, equity markets are looking quite bullish here. Dow Jones here, same thing. We saw price bounce off of the support level. It gave back all the entire move here from Friday. So we have a bullish candle close. Now it is into resistance, so just keep that in mind. If price does not go above today's high, it could turn back down and we could see a drop here. However, should it go through today's resistance here at 28,730, then we're looking for a move all the way back into the high at 28,900. So bias here is bullish here. And then if we do see the price go through, then we are on the other side. 29,130 will be the next target. So for now, bias is bullish for Dow Jones as well. DAX here, we did see a drop in DAX, but price has bounced off. So we do have a bullish pin bar here, which means bias is bullish. I will look for a bit of a drop and then a further move to the upside here. So bullish bias for DAX as well. Next target here would be 13,200, and then above that we're looking at 13,000. So 13,200, then 13,300. So bullish bias here for DAX as well. FTSE, same thing here. Price went into support and then bounced off of that again. So bullish bias here. Next target will be the top of these candles at 76.30. And if it does go through that, we're looking at 76.80. So bias is bullish for FTSE. Nikkei here, this one is looking bullish as well. So today's candle close was definitely bullish here. And so bias is bullish. We are into resistance at the moment here, 23,460. So we could see price go up higher into 23,550 level. So bullish bias here. And next target beyond that, 23,700. So definitely bullish bias here for Nikkei as well. And that brings us to the end of our market analysis today. You guys have a wonderful trading day tomorrow, and I'll see you again tomorrow evening with the daily market analysis again. Bye for now.